Because I'm making it as I go along right now. Just the Holy Spirit said to me, I pray. Once you download it by Spirit, I pray. Okay, guys, so I need you all to, it's how we say, BYO, bring your own praise. When the other artists come up, I need you all to do the same thing, okay? welcome to the Steel Drum Training Center of America. My name is Sterling C. Sample, your host and your teacher for the entire program. Now, before we go anywhere to enter any program, any teaching, any training, I want to settle one thing with you guys first. I want to tell you about the origins of this lovely instrument, the steel drums, where it came from, how it came about, how the invention came about. I will try to do my utmost best to tell you the little stories that we have heard mouth to mouth coming up in generation after generation, because it was never recorded properly and in the annals of history, the accuracy of the steel drums and the inventors and all them stuff. We have a lot of word of mouth stuff that which we go by, but there's still the real story to be determined about the origin of the steel drums. Anyhow, we go way back with the steel drums. We have to go way back to Africa, where it really came from, where the word drums, the drums came from, and further on they changed the name to the slave owner. The French call it tambour bamboo. It's French. It's French for drums. Now it came when the French slave owners came from Martinique to the islands of Trinidad and Tobago. They came with their slaves from Grenada, St. Vincent, and all those places. They came with their slaves to the plantation, to the different plantations that we had, and growing crops and stuff. Now, within migrating to the islands of Trinidad and Tobago, the French came with their culture, and the Trinidad, the Africans from West Africa specifically, our ancestors from Africa came from West Africa. I think they say Sierra Leone and those places there. I don't know how accurate I am, but they came from there. And while the plantation owners came with their culture, the slaves came with their culture also. Now we know that they can take the slaves out of Africa, but they cannot take the Africa out of the slaves. They came with their culture, they came with their drums, they came with their attitude and everything. So while celebration time in the islands, the slave owners will have their celebration called Carnival, or they used to call it Mardi Gras, and our ancestors had their celebration. They used to call it Cambole. Now, Cambole was different to Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras was more like the social side of the of celebration, but Mardi Gras was the real bacchanal side, as we call it in Trinidad. We call it reveling. The more reveling, the more a good word, more scandalous, as we would say. The celebration used to be more scandalous. So that used to intimidate the slave owners. They didn't like the Cambole or celebration. And when we celebrate with the drums. We always hit those drums, we bang those drums. That's why it's important how you play your drums. Anybody can just play drums, but it's how you play your drums. Now let me go forward in the future now. Now I might play a song, the same song with you, but I will make that song different to how you make that song, that tune, that music song, because of the way I attack my notes, the way I play my notes. That goes way back to the drumming in Africa. The way how they drum, they could sum up war with their drums. They could sum up love with their drums. They can sum up all kind of stuff. That's why sometimes even the voodoo man and the Shango man, they do all kind of drums and to invoke demons and all kind of things. You should use drums for all sort of stuff. Even now in church, when you hear drums do things to people. Drums make you move. The way you play your drums, the way you strike your note, it makes you move. It makes you want to make love. It makes you want to dance. It makes you want to. That's why Christians we don't revel in party and stuff and all these things, because the drums does something for you on a different level. Now we have drums in church, and it's very good because we need drums for our music, and that drum in church give us a different feeling than the drums in the party and all this stuff. So drum on the whole used to be like a aphrodisiac to some people, because they couldn't handle the language that the drum was carrying out. So
One year they had like a Cambule riot. I think it's in the 18th century. They had a Cambule riot. It was a famous riot. Well, a lot of people died. There was going against the law and everything. So they banned the drums. They actually banned the drums from playing. These drums were banned from on the streets from the celebrations. So we had nothing to play now. So we had no drums to play. So we had to get up something. But the celebration was still going on. But they banned the drums from the celebration. You see that? Now it had a Cambule riot. They didn't ban the Cambule, but they banned the drums from the Cambule riot, from the Cambule. So now we had a parade, we have to party, or we had to do our celebration with more conservative instruments. Because they were scared of the drums. The drums used to speak to people. Drums are very important to the Africans and to the black man. And even the rhythm, hip hop, everything, drums, beats, it does something to you. That's why it's important to how you play your pan, how you play your notes. Okay, let's go back to the ancestors now. Now back in the day now, so the drums were banned. So people didn't have nothing to do, had nothing to play. So they came up with something called the bamboo. They later call it tambour bamboo, which I think is French for drums. Tambour bamboo came out. When the tambour bamboo came out, there were different sizes of bamboo they used to use. There was a small bamboo which represented the treble tree section, the UT or something. So that they used to call it the UT. The middle section is called the folie, and the base was the bigger bamboos. Now those bamboos, we used to make noise with those bamboos, and we call it tambour bamboo. Back in the days, there was a band called the Alexander Ragtime Band. They used to come up with all the bamboos, tambour bamboo, different bamboos and rhythm. Everything you could find to play a rhythm, would you play a rhythm with brakes hub from the cars, used to take it and bang it and get the iron song of it. They used to get that. Used to get all those stuff and play music with them. Anything they get their hand on, they play music with it. The bottle and spoon, bottle and spoon, and you hear a rhythm coming down the road. When they're coming down and they're celebrating Cambule now, they're celebrating Cambule with bamboos and car hubs, brake hubs, those stuff and all those stuff. So on we going now. So when the World War started, America and England went to war with Germany. There was a world war around that time, so everything was banned. They banned everything from on the street, no celebration, nothing at all. So all these years now, guys with this bamboo now, guys should still come out and sneak out and play a little thing. Although it was banned, although everything was banned, you know, pan men used to come out and sneak out and with the bamboo and stuff. So celebrating with the bamboo, one year they celebrated with the bamboo, and the bamboo keep bursting. These bamboos keep bursting. These bamboos can't sustain a whole day of banging and hitting and all this stuff, so they keep bursting. So that was a problem with the rhythm man. So they had to go and run and get another bamboo and come back in the band. They can't be doing that. So one guy would grab a dustbin can off the road. One of those dustbin cans, throw the people garbage out on the streets and take the garbage pan and start banging it. Bang, ba-dang, ding, dang, da-dang, ding, dang, da-dang. You know, getting a beat, bang, 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 bang. At the end of the day now, this guy realized that his garbage can really sink. It had a sink after banging it so much, it sinked down. It actually had a sink, and it had a different song from when he first picked it up to bang it. So the song changed during the course of the day. So that gave him an idea of getting one note, a change of a note. So he decided now to part off those two notes and get two notes. He got two notes off of that pan. He got a bing and a pong. How the ping and pong came along, back in my country, there's a college called the Queen's Royal College, English college. And by that English college, they had a big clock, like the Big Ben, something like the Big Ben clock, which is in London. We had a clock there in Trinidad, but used to chime like every hour. You know, there was a chime. They go ping pong, ping pong. It used to chime like that, and the musicians used to try to mimic that song. They try to mimic that song, that ping pong song. So they get the pan, and they part the pan in two, sink it, like how they already sink it and part it in two, bring it up, and they got a ping pong. They got ping pong. And then a guy went and get ping pong pong. They were told they keep going on, get it. One guy get two notes, And everybody coming out and they're still underground, right? Because the war going on. Everybody's still underground. So we had these underground tuners tuning pan and making pan illegally because drums were banned. You can't play no kind of drums, right? Remember drums banned, right? So we come up with steel pan, steel drums, steel pan, same name for me. And what used to happen? They used to come out like late sometime and celebrate with the one note and the two notes, and the police used to take it and throw their pans away. Naturally throw their pans away, lock them up and all kind of stuff. They used to be locked up because they was illegally playing the instrument. Until these guys and them go on to one note, two notes, until they find the whole 12 notes of the scale. The whole 12 notes. Credited for it was a man named Anthony Williams, Tony Williams, and Spree Simon. Spree Simon, they say he created the first tenor pan. He invented the first tenor pan. And then Anthony Williams had the spider web, spider web formation, which comes to the fourth and fifth pans, but we play, that's the most modernized pan we have today. There's different style of tenors, there's about 3 or 4 different style of tenors, but the fourth and fifth pan that Tony Williams made was more standardized. It's the most standardized pan in the world today. So after the 5 years period, the war was over. The war was over, and everybody wanna come out with their pan now to show off what they learned, what they have. If this guy have a 2-note pan, 3-note. The guys for the first time, I think it was in St. James or somewhere down there, they heard pan playing. When the soldiers heard the pan playing, the soldiers and them, man, they were so joyful to hear playing. And Mary had a little lamb on the pan, and those little songs, those nursery rhyme songs they used to play. For the first time, they actually heard steel drums played on the streets, together with all the rhythm. We even formed, after that, something called TASPO, the Trinidad All Percussion Orchestra, because the steel drum is a percussion instrument. There are no strings attached to it. There's nothing attached. It's all percussion. So it was rated as a percussion instrument. So when we took that steel drums and we brought it to a level of playing it. Now this regular one we have here, these are chrome, but back then they were just painted and so forth, and that's how they used them. Now the steel drum and the pan man who used to play the steel drums were rated as more like hooligans and more like guys out of guys that we are outcasts, as we say, the dregs of society. If your daughter married a steel drum player long ago, you abandon that child. Pan men were not allowed to play in churches. We were not allowed. Priests didn't want to marry pan men to women and stuff. All them things we had faced. Even in my generation, when I was coming up, we had a lot of fights and stuff, a lot of band wars and territorial wars and all this stuff still going on. Guys used to fight because that one guy harassed the next guy, woman in the band, who harassed his girlfriend in the band. So he's mad. So carnival time or Cambodia time when this come out, if my band see you and I know you harass my girl in my band, we clashing, we pelting bottles at each other. All those things the pan came from. That's the age of ignorance. That's more the age of ignorance, where we used to fight and stuff. I witnessed it one day. At one time I was about 8 years old or 9 years old, and I was in a band, and I see they collecting all the bottles. I say, well, they're picking up bottle. Like when they see the Chinese man picking up bottle, or the guy picking up bottle by the streets, and he's saving it and to sell them and stuff. I say, well, they're saving bottle to sell. They weren't saving bottle to sell. They were saving bottle to pelt at each other to fight. So that way, I personally saw that with my 2 eyes. I personally saw a band clash fight in the savannah by the scrimmage. I had to run and leave pants and all kind of stuff. That's where we came from. So we came from Tambule to Tambu Bamboo. We came into Tambu Bamboo. We came with the invention with Tony Williams and the underground pan men and them who was making pan while the war when the war was after the war, while the war was going on, we were making pan on the ground. After the war, then they came out with the pans and they came out in the streets and celebrate, and they heard pan for the first time. The people were reveling. That's when pan came alive for the first time. So now pan now has came into a different era now. Pan has been through a lot. There's the age of the single pan man. There's the age of the bands and the competition, all that stuff going on in Trinidad and Tobago. So I hope I did you justice by explaining some of these things to you, where the pan came from, how it came about, you know, the mystery about how it came about and stuff there. Because if they didn't ban it, if they didn't ban our drums, they might not get our pans. How it came from Africa with our ancestors, rooted at when I say rooted in the Caribbean belly, you know, it was rooted in their African belly that they came about and bring this instrument to light to us. So again, Sterling C. Sample here from the Steel Drum Training Center. I pray that all pan men be educated. I mean, I'm not the most scholar in this industry. There's guys that know more than me, but I'm willing to teach you what I've learned and the passion that I have acquired coming up as a young pan man, as a young steel drum player in the world. Now listen, do your best, train every day, practice every day. If you wanna be good at this steel drum, practice every day. I'm still learning. I'm learning while I'm teaching you. I'm learning while I'm going along. So I never stop learning. I have friends who wanna come into the program and teach you guys things. We're gonna get together and do a lot of work on this program. I want to teach you how to roll, strum. I will teach you how to hold your sticks, how to stand behind the steel drum. I'm sitting right now. How to do what's a whole note, what's a half note. We're gonna count notes. We're gonna do you know, little songs. How to find your songs. How you ever hear a song and you can't find the key? You know how to find the key. Teach you how to find the keys and teach you all the things that you need to know about pan. So pan has evolved from that. Pan has gone on to be playing in churches. Pan has gone to be playing for the presidents. Robert Greenwich, they play for the presidents. I know guys that play all over. Robert Greenwich, he played a rock and roll band called Jimmy Buffett, Boogsy. All the guys doing it. Duvon is doing it internationally. A lot of guys doing it. Jonathan Skay is doing it on a different level. And pan man has reached a certain form of respect in the world. So you on the right track. Keep learning. Run with me and whoever you can learn from. And God bless you. And I hope this program has been a blessing to you. Sterling C. Sample from the Steel Drum Training Center signing off, saying God bless you and have a wonderful day.